Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, bleeding cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, bleeding cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7.
Oh, oh. Hey, penguin. No, not Apple yet. If someone is evil, look, okay, I have an excuse for being a minute late, and it's a good excuse. I just got notified my grandpa went back to the hospital, but so I was on the phone. Take that. But I'll still go through the stream today. No promises on Friday. You can't make me evil over that. Okay. You can make me evil over the fact that I said I would cover Shecky's game. Oh, I don't know. How long ago was that? 6 or 7 months ago, and then I never did. Luckily, they contacted me. We'll be doing it now. It all comes down to which Discord I had open first. Or last, I guess. And I had my Discord open last, so it got the link first. You're gonna try and beat me to it. That would be impressive. I took the apple away from you? Oh. I see what you mean. So this is the map where I had a super fun time playing. I think it was Drake. Who was I? Was I Drake? Or was I against Drake? I don't even remember. I might have been Drake. Well, I had a super fun time on this map and got myself crushed in a really lopsided match. I don't even remember it. That's so long ago. But here we have Shecky playing Max against Pomeranian playing Kindle. I think I was Drake. It was like Drake versus... Yeah, I was Drake versus Andy. High fun, so I was very sad. We'll see how these guys go about it. Max, I think, is the go-to pick for sure on this map. It's very straightforward routes with the bases to just go slamming into each other, and then the airports are also really strong because they're in this. Content for Shock Game made this game look crazy. Or this map look crazy. Ooh. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes in our games. Got Shecky's Max, PomeranianDevil as Kindle. I would say that Max is probably better than Kindle in high funds. I think he's a whole tier up. So PomeranianDevil picking a tier down for Kindle. This map is legendary. Oh wow! I did not know it was so well respected. So there's some recon attacks you can do pretty effectively as Max with these bases to put a lot of pressure on this lone base and also potentially interrupt the airport capture. It doesn't look like Shecky is going for that. There's also some APC openings you can do to get the airport like really fast. It looks like Shecky's just going to take this little route, go for this city, into the river, and then walk over and take the airport. And go for a tank first on the double base side, which is something you'll want to do because, I mean, this is a lone base for now. So the more you can starve it of infantry by pressuring it with vehicles, so it has to build its own vehicles, the better off you'll be. It has to try and get all these captures with a limited number of infantry, while your double base side has two bases. So one can be building vehicles to pressure, and the other one can build infantry to get captures. So you get your nice little economic advantage there. PomeranianDevil jukes, fakes out with the capture, and moves on to the comm tower. It's important to do it this turn. If you finish the capture, then Shecky can get in range to interrupt the comm tower capture. Here we have PomeranianDevil. Tank. Try and put some pressure on this one base side themselves. We have another tank, and we have tank. Okay. Tank Fiesta so far. Okay. Both players taking the same route to get to this airport. It's not as fast as it could be, but it's plenty fast enough, and just more tanks coming out of PomeranianDevil. This is kind of what Shecky would like, is if everyone can stay at the same tech level, then Max is going to be having a very nice advantage with that plus 20% firepower increase on those vehicles, and also having the active powers to give extra range so you can zone the same type of units out very effectively. Where Kindle would really like to just set up scenarios where she can strike from cities. And then once Kindle has some charge, she can also deal with stuff on cities, but until that charge is actually acquired, the stuff on cities is kind of impossible to deal with. So here Shecky's going to just try and find some way of disrupting the economy of PomeranianDevil, and so far a little bit's already been done, like the cities being denied pretty effectively. And it looks like we're going to have a little front shift into the middle, maybe join up to just try and give some aid to this one base side, or maybe just going to try and continue to deny the economy over here, like putting pressure on this city, for instance. This won't work too long though, because, well, it kind of depends on what Shecky's willing to sacrifice. It's not so bad, like if this starts capturing and then you go in and you kill it off and you just accept that you're going to take some pretty serious hits on your tanks for that. It's not so bad because the infantry presence for PomeranianDevil over here is really lacking due to how many vehicles have been forced to be built here. So the next infantry to come over and capture this city will be a very long time. And this guy's already got their jobs up here. So it's definitely worth losing a 7k, for instance, a 7k tank to stop the city being captured for like 5 turns. Economically. Just because 5 turns without a city is 10k, the tank's just 7k. Assuming you don't go like down in unit count or something like that. It's constant. Okay, so we have the capture here. We have lots of tanks covering this. Some pressure being put on over here by PomeranianDevil to go after this comm tower. And something that PomeranianDevil might end up leveraging that Max can't really do is using indirects around the comm tower. Because Max has shorter indirect range, so you can't just like have an artillery sitting here and lock this comm tower. But if PomeranianDevil captures this one, then the artillery can definitely go here and just make sure that Shecky can never get it back. I also don't quite understand the map hype, but other people seem to be a big fan. Okay, so it looks like Shecky doesn't want to sacrifice any tanks trying to disrupt this economy. Probably not worth it to just hurt the infantry. You really want to kill it off to stay the same in unit count. So we're going to have just a fight over the middle happen. Very weird is that Shecky did not build a battlecopter this turn. So that's potentially going to be Shecky just going negative in unit count, which is very unfortunate, especially since they'd be max battlecopters. And the Neo tank was built for both players, but I feel having an extra battlecopter is going to be more than having a Neo tank a turn earlier, because you could always just get the Neo tank later. There wasn't any immediate pressure that was forcing the Neo tank this turn. And all the Neo tank really does is kind of force air or a Neo tank, in this case both, as a response to deal with it. Shecky goes straight to the bomber. Now bombers do deal very nicely with Neo tanks. It looks like we're just trying to set up some exchanges that if PomeranianDevil attacks in, it's not doing enough damage. Is usually the idea here is you step into their range. They can hit you, but they can only hit you from like one side, or they have to be in a really bad spot to kill off your unit, and you get like 2 kills for 1 and that kind of thing. Right now, the economies are actually even, and you would think that Shecky would have been able to deny some money from PomeranianDevil just using the stronger vehicles. But so far, so good for Pomeranian. Why not build a Neo, though? Well, you don't. The reason you wouldn't want to build a Neo is because it stops you from building a battlecopter. It's not bad to build. Like, having a Neo tank's not bad. But being down a unit is pretty bad. Okay, I think go chill in this city. The tanks are all dancing. Looks like PomeranianDevil is able to just walk up and take this. It's kind of wild. Okay. I would have expected Shecky to maybe front switch and stop this with some units, just hit it with a tank and have a bunch of backup. But it might not have looked super nice to do so. Okay, and then over here, looks like Shecky is also able to just get this city with no confrontation. I mean, there are infantry here. They can definitely interrupt it and put pressure on Shecky, especially with the double base supporting it. I feel like that would be the way to go. No need to handshake these contestable cities. Okay, bomber come in, kill off that infantry. The anti-air does not reach. There's no fighter built, so it's just kind of a free infantry for Shecky. We have another anti-air built. I don't know if this one's really needed, but it's fine to have anti-air. I mean, they're good against infantry. There's plenty of those. They're good against the bombers. Definitely some nice air superiority coming out for Shecky here. And PomeranianDevil skipped the airport production last turn. So that kind of gets rid of the unit count advantage. That and losing the infantry. now we have fighter, we have city starting to cap, lots of units just kind of gathering around it to watch it. And usually you don't defend cities quite so close, because if there's a breakthrough on the city, you don't want your opponent to just kind of hit you hard. But I think it works in this case because the units don't have an easy way of killing. Basically, the bomber is blocking the units that would kill off this infantry to let the bomber go after the Neo tank. But there might still be, see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so like this Neo tank can, kind of sad, this Neo tank can kill this infantry if it wants to, and then the double tanks down here can kill this tank, and then the bomber can kill off this Neo tank. That is within fighter range, so I don't know if you ever about that, but there's definitely some options for Shecky if aggression was going to be the name of the game. I think we're just going to go for some infantry strikes. The fighter moves over here, which I do not like. I don't know why the fighter went over here. This side already has double anti-air, so the fighter should really go to the side that doesn't have any anti-air. I guess instead we're just going to get another fighter to do it. In which case, I guess this fighter's job is to try and zone this fighter. In which case, I would have moved to here. Unless this is trying to stop these tanks from going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Except they don't reach anything. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Okay. It's definitely kind of stalling out a bit here. We have a little join cap. A lot of the vehicles from Shecky left the middle, so I think it's fine for Pomeranian to attack them for sure. Okay, the one base side. Okay, the one base side from PomeranianDevil is getting very, very aggressive. Well, the double base side is falling back to its double base. I guess trying to invite Shecky to overextend over there. Yeah, a fight that happens on this side should be pretty good for Shecky. I mean, there's no way to break through these lines, but there's plenty of first strikes. That bomber. So the only reason you would go in here with a bomber to hit that Neo tank is to get the power, because that's now just a super dead bomber. We'll see. It doesn't let the fighter. If it let the fighter hit this bomber, then that would have been a pretty big deal. You have the Neo tank hit the Neo tank, break through that wall, dip some more tanks. Doesn't end up interrupting the city capture. Okay, the fighter is just blocking tanks from moving around and helping over here. Killing off infantry. I don't know if that's quite worth it. That tank is super dead. I don't think, yeah, these units didn't really have a target, so I'm not sure why that tank went in there to kill specifically that infantry. Okay. A little bit weird. I did like the attack on this side. I'm not quite sure about the attacks over here. They seemed kind of negative. Like, this tank can now finish off this tank. So you lose a tank to do 3 damage. Or, well, it did 5, but it repairs. This tank is just kind of dead. And of course, this bomber is going to die too. So, kind of sacrificing the left in order to get more damage done on the right. We do have a high society from PomeranianDevil in response. Okay. I don't know why the tanks are injuring themselves here. I don't think the Neo tank has a better job. I guess it just doesn't want to invite itself. We can hit here, but the infantry can just block it. Oh, never mind. The Neo tank is going to go straight for the zit on the city. Okay. Whoa. Well, it could have captured the city. Decides to just kill off the infantry instead. A bunch of little tank strikes over here. Getting good use of the high society to get a kill there. It looks like we're going to try and trap the fighter, which I like. It's always cheeky. Bomber comes in, kills a tank. Fighter just kills off that copter. It is within this fighter's range, but not this one currently. I would have preferred if this fighter attacked from up here, because that'll be a lot easier to cover with anti-air, and it'll be farther away from this fighter that's on the airport. Because if it gets +1 movement, which is very easy to do in high funds, just get the normal power with max, it's going to be able to hit the fighter, and that's not good. Okay, we do kill off that anti-air. Just gonna go heal up the Neotank over there. Seems fine. We do have a nice little trap on this fighter. And then rest in peace tank. Smack there. This is actually looking pretty decent for PomeranianDevil. I would expect this Neotank to come in here and hit this tank. Like so. Okay, fighter. I don't like... This is not a good placement for this fighter. Don't know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it's to try and stop this anti-air from reaching this bomber with a max power. And instead it just gets to kill the fighter. Yeah, I don't know. Tank survives, nice. Ooh, the anti-air goes for the infantry kill. Clear that out. Free the fighter that way. All right. We do have the fighter first strike over here, which is maybe a mistake. Well, I guess it's fine. This guy can still hit it. Okay, so if we look at, I think Max is just trying to get the power at this point. Maybe not. So ideally with this, not reach. Ah, I see. You say ideally with this fighter, you'd want to hit it here. So you cut off the transportation between these two fronts for PomeranianDevil, because there's nothing over here that can really deal with the fighter. But it looks like in order to do that, you have to kill this 4 health tank, and that's hard to do without getting the power first. So uses the fighter instead to get the charge. And it doesn't use the power to get extra movement. I guess that's fair. Most of the things you'd want to use it for have already happened. Okay. I don't know why, but the APC decides to go sit on this comm tower. PomeranianDevil is looking really happy right now. He's a little bit behind in economy by a single city, but that can be changed immediately. But is looking pretty, almost half a turn ahead in unit value, almost half a turn ahead in unit count, while being down 5 infantry, so way up in vehicles, although a lot of them are very injured. Yeah, you can't drive under a fighter. That would be nonsense. So we're going to have our 2 fighters try and gang up, injure this one, and the bombers are just going to have to try and run for their lives currently. Double base, try and build up. Kill off that tank. Anti-air gets beat up. I don't know why the tank moved farther away from its friends to do that. Definitely you should have just stayed here. Okay, we have a medium tank coming down here. The Neo tanks are going to join together on that city. So that may or may, I mean, that's probably fine. It does hit your unit count. I probably wouldn't have joined them. Personally, because a 3 health Neo tank can be used as a nice sacrifice and it's not like you're usually hurting that much for money and high funds. So repairing units is is usually a lot better than in other modes. There's no point. This is such a weird move to me. So the fighter doesn't move. It doesn't move out of anti-air range. Instead, it moves next to the city and anti-air can hit it from. And then they just get joined up to 7. So it makes it more valuable to die to the anti-air. It could just not be here. It could go anywhere else in the world, and the 1 health can just kill off this other 1 health. Because 1 health fighters are going to be really annoying blockers in this game, because they only take damage from anti-airs and other fighters from the units that we currently have in play. So you don't usually want to just get rid of them kind of willy-nilly. They are very useful. Okay. So yeah, I like this a lot more. You can heal up these 1 health tanks. They're useful pretty much at any health, because if they're at lower health, like 1, 3, and 5-ish, then they can be used as sacrifice, and if they get higher than that, then they're going to just be first striking stuff. Okay, PomeranianDevil moves back. We are completely even in econ right now. Okay, it looks like we're going to be falling back quite a bit. So at this point, we have our rocket built. Shecky's got the power advantage and is max, so there should be a lot of setups that put a lot of pressure on PomeranianDevil by moving units just 1 tile outside of 1 or 2 tiles outside of Kindle's range, while still being in the range for max to attack, and you can kind of keep pushing PomeranianDevil back farther and farther until you can get a capture out of it. I mean, going after this comm tower does seem to be the easiest way to do that. So I would be much more aggressive going after this comm tower. PomeranianDevil falls really far back, but wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, the rocket isn't covering the comm tower, but it is covering the tile in front of the comm tower. So that's almost the same thing, except that there's the anti-air can't reach, and there's only low health fighters in range. So the 7 health fighter can just sit here, and now the rocket's doing nothing to stop the comm tower from being captured. In fact, I'm pretty sure at this point, Shecky can just take this comm tower by going fighter here, start capturing, and then just has to guard like this mountain. Exactly what we're seeing. So a little bit of an overreaction from PomeranianDevil to stay out of Max's range, but that's how the max power works. Indirects can definitely be a good idea versus max. Now, this doesn't necessarily get the comm tower, because PomeranianDevil can always get some charge, assuming there's some strikes left available, which I don't know if there are. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Okay, I don't think there's enough stuff here for Kindle to actually get the Urban Blight to deny the comm tower capture. So this is where PomeranianDevil's just kicking themselves after just denying themselves their own comm tower coverage. It's going to get locked, but a turn too late. Now Shecky starts moving in. No? Okay, never mind. I guess this anti-air was just being sent. This is just to make it so there can't be an infantry capturing the comm tower next turn at full health. A transport copter build. Shecky doing okay on inventory count. So. Surprised that was the route. Now we have double comm tower max with a super available against Kindle, no comm tower, and not even Urban Blight. Somehow this infantry survived. Okay, we have the max blast come out from Shecky. You can kind of see how far back PomeranianDevil's fallen to try and make it so these max blasts aren't so effective, but down goes the rocket. The fighter, one shot the fighter. Okay. Sadly, there's not another fighter over here. Lots of fighters over here. This is where very weird that Shecky was adding so many fighters to the side that had anti-air. Okay, I don't know if that max blast was really worth it. We did kill the rocket, which is kind of nice, but it's going to lose all of these tanks for it. And then killing off the fighter doesn't really matter because it's just going to be a fighter for a fighter. And you don't usually want to use your super for an even trade. Fighter for a fighter. If PomeranianDevil really wanted to, they could build another rocket. I mean, it was only one turn away from the base that it died, so it's pretty easy to replace that. But something that also happened is that all of the infantry over here from PomeranianDevil are dead or at 3 health, so there's no way to capture this comm tower. Shecky doesn't even need to guard it currently. It'll take some serious setup for PomeranianDevil to actually get it. Lots of walk-in with infantry. Surprised this guy got away to heal. Lots of fighters being built from both sides, which is definitely going to benefit Max if Shecky can reach the super again, as we saw. Max, the fighter with the super and these double comm towers, just one shot the opposing fighters. So this is all Shecky trying to get some more charge without inviting too much destruction in the meantime. Well, it has to go negative in the unit count to do that. Ooh, PomeranianDevil has like this wedge going into the center here with a capture happening. It's a lot of air units. Gotta be really careful doing this. I know it looks like Shecky doesn't have much charge, but it doesn't take much in high funds to get all the way to the super. And if Shecky gets the super and then the fighters just clear out these 5 air units in the back, it's going to be very painful. So this tank does not need to attack here because Shecky has double comm tower, so 2 infantry are guaranteed to kill this. Okay. I don't think Shecky even really wants to take these steps forward. So more units are going to just end up dying. This attack on this Neo tank is very weird. It's the only thing, the time you would do this kind of thing is when you're going to get the super that turn from doing it. Because you're not going to be guaranteed to have a nice board state on the following turn. You'll just kind of be down in units. Okay, this infantry backed off. Okay. PomeranianDevil is abandoning this attack. This is very, very good for Shecky. Here we go. We have a unit sacrifice. This is, I assume, to try and get the power. No, just killing off a little bit. I mean, Shecky also has to be careful. Max doesn't need to move into range of PomeranianDevil, but if too much stuff does move into range, then Shecky can still get wiped by high society. Don't think enough stuff is in range to make this necessarily worth it, though. Like if the fighter could die and the Neotank could strike, then you'd be really happy. Because if we like look at, okay, high society's or a power at least is required to get this kill. Like I don't think you need it to get these kills. Okay, we do take out the Neotank over there, which is nice. But this is where as Shecky, you wouldn't really want to be tossing away too many units to try and build up charge, because you get overcharged when you end up getting attacked. So you've had those tanks. Usually when you're sending tanks in to get charged like that, it's when they can also actually kill the units. You don't go down in unit count. We do have a max rocket. So the max rocket is to lock the comm tower, because anyone else can just use an artillery because it would have 3 range, but the max artillery only has 2 range. So the rocket wants to do it from back behind the mountains. Whoa! So Shecky just uses the normal power here, which should mean that there's no movement challenges. Whee! Smack. I think with the super, these probably would have died. They do have, well, maybe not. They do have that plus 10% defense from the PomeranianDevil super being active. Attack over here. Lots of Neotanks joining up. But because Shecky just uses the normal power instead of the super, this does mean that there'll be a lot of charge left over. PomeranianDevil's really feeling the lack of having the comm tower there. Oh, and again. Oh, a negative trade on the first strike. Ah, that is very painful. Okay, we have an Urban Blight. It does some nice damage. It hits this poor Mega Tank. But this poor Mega Tank's going to be having a very happy turn as it's got nice targets. Okay, we have the double fighter attack over there. Whoa, the Neotank attacked the Mega Tank. I do not think this was worth it, but there might have been a reason to knock it down to 5. This is looking really bad for PomeranianDevil. There's still 2 fighters over here. And this other side is just totally toasted. Okay. Tank kills this Neotank. It does activate the normal power for Shecky. Neotank does indeed stop the capture. Whoa, okay. Ah, so the fighter can go and kill the bomber, sure. Nice Neotank first strikes. Just barely moves 10. And that's a really annoying thing for PomeranianDevil, because if it just moves the 9, then this fighter can always chase it. But since it has that +1 movement, it actually gets better. So that was not needed. I don't quite. Oh, I see. It was to kill the bomber. Oh, okay. That's not so bad then. Was there not a way to do it? Okay, that's pretty good. Neotank doesn't get to hit another Neotank, but killing off the bomber is nice. And then the fighter is guarding the comm tower. Yeah. PomeranianDevil was kind of falling apart on the right here. Now the rocket doesn't even do anything. Okay. We have another charge issue for PomeranianDevil while attacking into max with power. What on earth did that poor mech ever do to you? Attacks. Trying to kill off this mega tank. It should be out of ammo now. It is out of ammo. It's got one shot left. Oh, the APC even more. Wow, mass sacrifices. PomeranianDevil. I assume to get high society. I don't know what we're getting out of this high society. Okay, so that does cut off 2 fronts, but there isn't really anything over here that would care. Okay. The middle is looking pretty good for Pomeranian. The sides are all looking awful though. Yeah. So that was a lot of stuff that had to be sacrificed in order to get that super. I think more stuff had to be sacrificed than actually ended up dying due to the super, which is not good. Pop. Yeah, there's plenty of fighters around to kill this off if need be. Okay. I probably would have just healed the 1 health Neotank. But that's fine. Now, Shecky has the rocket too close to this comm tower, but it is guarding this Neotank. I don't know why the rocket's so far forward. It's losing its effectiveness. Okay. At this point, PomeranianDevil's super dead. It's kind of almost all in on trying to capture a single city. Okay, APC survives. I would also resign after that. GG. So it looks like the zoning from Max's units really ended up being very impactful, as you would expect. And I mean, PomeranianDevil had that kind of horrible mistake in not putting the rocket on the city to lock this comm tower right away. GG. Couldn't get the kill on the APC, it's too powerful. You want to believe. If I sign up people again, see, I'm not going to be signing up. You're okay, Habits, no worries. think this is sent in by AddyP. Right, looking good. Now the dual wield Baldur's Gate and Advanced Warring. I'm going an evil route on Baldur's Gate. It's amazing how accepting your party is of how blatantly evil you can be. Evil. A mage would be cool. Second game where someone picks a tier down. That's true. This is a standard game, and no, it's not. This is a high funds game, so that it's not a tier down. Jess and Lash are both bottom tier in high funds. What do I do? Kick burbs? It's just like lots of indiscriminate killing stuff. The characters have got like an urge to kill. It is very similar to that standard map. But you see, there's a very key difference, and that difference is this is a lab and not an HQ. And there's a comm tower. I'm currently just playing it with by myself. And it looks like these bases are in different positions. The infantry B gets some captures. AddyP with the first vehicle straight to the tank. Ooh, dfox answers with an artillery. It's pretty nice positioning. This does kind of put dfox in a little bit of an awkward position. Because, yeah, the tank can just move to outside of the artillery range, and because there wasn't a vehicle built here last turn, I don't think that was possible, there's nothing to actually block and save this artillery, so I guess the artillery is going to have to retreat and let this infantry get hit, which is kind of fine. This, when it comes to when you're capturing infantry get hit, it matters when that infantry has another capture that's kind of assigned to. And this one, I don't think it really has another one right away. Like, you could try and go for this, but that's not very likely. So it'll probably start heading towards the middle. So it's okay for this to get hit because it doesn't have another capture lined up for it. Whoa, AddyP though doesn't go for the free hit and instead does a little front shift through the middle. I like it. Keeping dfox on their toes. Okay, and yeah, you can see the infantry ran backwards. It doesn't have another capture in its future. Backing up, we have the double tank coming over here. Does get dfox building their own, and we have an artillery from AddyP. Prophylactic anti-air. No air units yet. Both players. Oh, now there's an air unit, so that's justified. I mean, maybe it's hard to not build any air units in high funds where you have so much extra money. Be kind of weird to miss out on those free units. Fly. Ooh, we have a fast rocket from AddyP on the one base side, where we do have a lot of these mountains to try and effectively. And the center currently looks like there's also one less city in the center. AddyP only. Okay, Jess rocket moves forward. Ooh, it does do enough damage to stop the capture, but the other one goes forward anyway. Now, the rocket only guards this infantry, so I think this guy going forward as well is not great. Unguarded at present. Even by the tanks. Now, the copter guards it. We have some mech play coming out. Fox over here. Ooh. This is very painful for dfox. So because the comm tower is not captured, this infantry lives, and now you can't kill off this infantry without moving into rocket range. And also standing on the city. A very painful miss of a comm tower buy or capture. A lot of stuff didn't even move there, so this is looking very good for AddyP. If he does survive, he has to fall back. There's the protection of the indirects. And we have a medium tank built over here. Some more artillery over here. Good. We do have a tank strike from dfox. The only thing this is a fine attack to go for. The only difference is you'll want to go with the battlecopter first, unless you're trying to give yourself charge. When you're using the battlecopter plus tank 2-hit kill combo against a tank, battlecopter hits first because it takes far less damage in retaliation. So instead of having 3 damage on this tank, you'd probably have 0 damage on this copter and then a full health tank. So the only reason you would ever do that in reverse is if you're trying to get a charge, because then you want the damage on it. Because it gives you more charge. But this not being a full health tank is very painful, because it does set up this tank to just take it out with it. Oh, sorry. Tank first guarantees the kill. I don't know if it would guarantee the kill any differently. I don't know what well, I mean, maybe the HP thresholds just line up that much better. Yeah, down goes the tank. So it would have survived. I guess technically this isn't a guaranteed kill either way because it's a 20% plus a 10%. A lot of these units were just a little stare off over here. AddyP is up by 4k, which is pretty nice. Okay, only 2k at this point. Double copter swing in. That's a very aggressive move. Guess there's an anti-air here, and there's a copter covering the right. So, if I was going in with an attack like this that dfox is doing, I would start moving these other tanks in so I can kill off this anti-air when it goes after a copter. So I wouldn't want him standing back like this anymore. The fight's kind of moved into the center for me. So as AddyP here, I would probably have the anti-air kill this copter and then have this other copter hit the other one. But this kind of works as well. It's making it so, I mean, this can't really die. Well, I mean, I guess the tank plus copter can still hit it because this copter can kill off this infantry. They do have some stuff covering against it. I'd probably move this artillery over. I guess it doesn't really matter. Doesn't cover the tank plus copter kills anti-air. Capture. Oh, I guess it would cover the capture. We have the terrain tactics from dfox. Okay. 4, 5. Doesn't let the medium tank reach this medium tank, so I'm not sure. Oh. Right, it's a breakthrough to hit the rocket. Okay. Well, I mean, killing the rocket's nice. Can't really complain about killing the rocket. And also moving up here, we have a rocket from dfox now. There's a nice spot of the breakthrough for dfox of the terrain tactics. And then we have the overdrive in response from Jess. So I assume we're going to have these tanks kill this tank, or maybe even tank plus infantry, and then the copters. Copters. See those? We're doing the stuff over here first. Ooh! Fails to get the kill on the mech. Although there's not really that great of a follow through, so it's not so bad. Tank hits mountain mech. Do kill off the copter. Smack on the tank. There's nothing over here. Never mind. I was going to say there's nothing over here covering against this Neo tank, but now there is. There's a Neo tank of AddyP's own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't quite cover the anti-air. We have our copter first strikes. Oh, okay. We're going to just kill off that one. I would prefer, I think, to go for 2 first strikes. Because now this leaves you open to 2 first strikes from full health copters. And that rocket breakthrough is doing some serious work for dfox. On the right there. AddyP did some pretty good attacks over here. Currently, I would say dfox is in the better position. What did this? Whoa. So I don't like this from dfox though. So the rocket forces a base skip by not moving to kill off that infantry, and then the Neo tank goes after this medium tank. I would way prefer to move this somewhere so you can build something, and also have the Neo tank kill off this anti-air. You could even, if you want to, kill it off from here and invite yourself to get hit by this Neo tank, because you can build a bomber cover. That might not work out quite so well, though. It depends on how. Yeah, I would probably just have the Neo tank hit from up here at the airport. I'd be a little too worried about the bomber being surrounded by stuff. Okay, here we have our 2 copter first strikes. Very painful. AddyP, very good for dfox. Okay, so here dfox just builds a Neo tank over here. I don't think this Neo tank is needed. I would prefer to build a bomber. I know there's an anti-air right here, but Lash would probably like to get the super, and you do survive an attack like this. Maybe not. Maybe he's not the best, though. The real thing that I would have liked to see different over here is that this rocket didn't fire. Because, yeah, now a tank just comes in and hits it. The Neo tank actually managed to survive. Oh, no, it's not. The anti-air can kill it off. Freebie charging forward. Oh, anti-air goes after this infantry instead. APC built down here. Some more copters over here. Seems good. Rocket has to back off. Neo tank on the run. The middle is looking good for dfox though. Neo tank built from the base is definitely a good idea. You can go mega tank if you want to. A lot of this stuff didn't move, which is kind of weird. Its artillery, I guess, did enough to dissuade everything. Okay. I like the little boost. Tire goes over and kills off that infantry. Very patient approach over here. I do like this this ABC build and getting these infantry over to actually go for these cities, because all of the other ones have been wiped out over here. So this doesn't quite work. This is like a cheeky play, but it doesn't quite work because the rocket can just kill this tank. The idea is to try and get the Neo tank to have to attack from the base, but you're gonna have to use something a little beefier than 3 health tank to do that, because that would force the base. Why? Okay. I really like this little staring contest they've got here. MVP Recon finishes off the Neo tank. It goes for repairs. Got some cities now under pressure from AddyP's infantry. You have a rocket in place to guard these cities. Ooh, dfox starts going for the comm tower capture down here. Triple Neo tank set up from this base. So you can always try and overload indirects to go after these cities if you so desire. This was definitely a little weird that dfox went for the comm tower capture and then left with the defending units. That infantry are pressuring that capture. So little defending over here. That seems to be just enough. Whoa. Whoa. That... So Lash has the charge for the super, but chooses the terrain tactics. Okay. That is a weird choice. You have the bomber. I would definitely have gone with the super here, because this is going to be a mighty painful turn. I probably would not have attacked in. Doesn't get the kill on the rocket, and to be fair, the super wouldn't have gotten that because it's attacking from the shoals. Lash is cooking. Lash has got... dfox has done a really good job of seeing breakthroughs in order to hit rockets, I gotta say. Very painful turn over here with the Neo tanks. Ooh. AddyP is like, you're not the only one that can snipe rockets. So a great breakthrough on the left for AddyP. Looks like it's basically game winning. But on the right, things are looking not quite so good. Just a medium tank build here. Bomber does come in. It does unfortunately go into anti-air range. tank barely holds on the lab. So in this case, I mean, this is locked by an artillery, so I don't know if it's really worth trying to go for it right now, but you could always try and get the charge for terrain tactics elsewhere, and then try and get it. What? Why? Well, I was gonna say you'll want to save your charge to get a super for when you're going for the lab cap. It does not work. The medium tank can just kill this. I mean, I guess this is what's going on here. Is it's I do like it's like an artillery chain, or like leapfrog with our for indirects, where like this artillery guards against the attackers on this artillery. Both of these rockets are guarding the attacks on this artillery. This artillery is guarding the attacks on this artillery, so they're all like guarding each other, I guess, is the idea. But you don't need to put one right there in order to get that going. Okay, I guess it locks the base, but this one already does. We have lots of injured Jess copters going in for the fight. Infantry's taken out. Definitely could have just used the Neo tank first there. Okay, we have the Mega tank being built, which makes sense. There's still a few healthy infantry from dfox to go after this lab. They're starting the capture, as well as standing on the airport, which is really annoying. With the anti-air kills off the rocket. There we go. We have infantry's blocking here, which is much nicer. But it doesn't look like there's enough stuff in range of this lab to really force this capture through. However, over here, we do have a 9 health infantry start this lab cap, which is very difficult to stop, I would say. We'll see. We do have mega tanks on the way. Okay, rocket is a nice shot. The fire on that mega tank, but doesn't see a way to stop the lab capture. There's definitely some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, you can terrain tactics onto this forest with the rocket, but I don't think there's a way to actually protect it when it goes there. And it takes more than just single rocket to stop that capture. GG. Huge breakthroughs on both sides. dfox has the eye for rockets. Is breaking through left and right. Rocket chain, exactly. That's too big. Leave it like that. We have ImDomination against Super 5125 in a Hawke mirror. Here we go. People send in the replays. Just go on the Advanced Words by Web Discord and send me your downloaded replay, and I'll put it on the queue. Okay, we have a Hawke mirror. This is always whether like game of chicken with the powers. You really want to be the one that uses your power second, so you heal off your opponent's power and leave all of their units injured. So the only time you use your power first is when you can get a whole bunch of kills with it. And right now we have ImDomination leading out with a recon, followed by an artillery, while Super 5125 is using a double APC opener. So if a recon's ever going to do damage on this map, you would expect it to do damage against a double APC opener. We will get to see lots of boosts, I assume, from the APC here, the transport opening. So the thing about transport openings that's kind of cool a little awkward with this APC, but that's okay. The thing that I think it boosted for this that's cool with these transport openings is your opponent has to do more than just disrupt a single city, because you're often giving yourself more than just one city using these transports. But sometimes your opponent will be really happy because they'll be like, oh, I used my recon and I interrupted a single city, and then you get yourself like 3 cities off of your transport, and you're like, oh, that's fine. The recon does kill off that infantry. No fear of retaliation from a tank. That's always the gutsy play, is you just keep capturing in range of the right next to the recon. You're basically saying that you're trying to bluff that you have a tank ready to kill off the recon in retaliation. The Superverse can be really good. It just has to do a lot of damage. Hawke mirrors are the goat mirrors. I hate Hawke mirrors. Oh, so the way that the airport got captured is that Hawke has a hidden day-to-day that lets his infantry walk on ocean tiles. No. What's happening here is that this map has been edited, the version of our map we're seeing right here is the old version, and then the new version, there's just shoals back here. So this is a replay from the new version, but the program only has the old version. So it's showing illegal operations. Okay. Ooh. The tank's not even visible here. Actually, I don't know why the tank was placed here. It definitely should have been placed here, so it actually covers its forward infantry. It's a nice pick-off for ImDomination. But you can see, even with like the recon harassment, Super 5125 is doing just fine when it comes to captures. Thanks to all of the transports. Like this city doesn't even have an infantry anywhere near it for ImDomination right now, and Super 5125 already has it thanks to the transport. But and this is something that ImDomination might be able to pick up on. If it's like, wow, this recon's been able to attack quite a bit without running into any naysayers. So there's probably something going on the other side of the map. Smack. Survive a 2. Oh, this might be getting so something you can keep in mind when you're doing openings like this, where you have very little vision on the side of the front that you're expanding into, is you want to look at where you are on that side. So and keep in mind that in this case, Super 5125 has been kind of pushed back at time, like delayed a little bit because of this recon. So already in striking distance of this comm tower. So you kind of have to expect that your opponent's going to be in striking distance of this comm tower. And I would not recommend moving in over there. I would unload this APC. Now, if you were playing on the cartridge, then if your APC gets trapped, you can't unload it. But because in Advanced Wars by Web, unloading is a completely free action, even when your APC gets trapped, which I assume is what happened there, maybe it didn't, you can just unload it. Rest in peace, ABC and infantry. Okay, Super 5125 still looking very nice economically, but is going to have to get some units over here, probably, unless you're just going to try and sacrifice the HQ front for both players. Definitely don't attack in here when you see your opponent has a whole bunch of stuff already. So this like delays by a turn, but you lose a whole unit to do so. So I would only recommend doing this kind of thing if you have follow-up that can actually deny the city. What's the most you can kill in one attack? I think it's 5. A lander filled with 2 APCs, infantry, or a carrier filled with 2 transport copters holding infantry. So at this point, I would probably be building all of my vehicles over here to try and save this front, because a lot's been shown to be over there, and very little's been shown to be over here. Okay, we're trapped on the tank. Kill off the tank. Yeah, like it's very scary. But it looks like it's just going to turn into an HQ rush at this point. Yep. All right. So currently Super 5125 is closer to capturing the HQ than ImDomination. Oh, looks like we're gonna front. Ooh, ImDomination's giving up on the race and is gonna try and front switch to save this HQ. Definitely needs to be moving more stuff in range of protecting it, though. I think this is gonna be lost. Just put enough stuff in the way. So here, Hawke against not Hawke or Andy would like go for some attacks, use the normal power, and it would knock this guy down to 9, and then that would give some more time to stop the HQ cap. But in the Hawke mirror, you can hit some stuff, knock it down to 9, and then your opponent starts their turn and heals it back up to 10. So Hawke doesn't have the same delay mechanics as he would normally. So we do have an attempt at the HQ cap here, and it's going to look like it's going to be a very successful one. We do have the black wave. Ooh. Okay, that did allow for a breakthrough to hit this infantry, which is a big deal. So ImDomination saw a way through. Super 5125 does get to use the normal power right back here. Up, up. Okay. Let's get some nice attacks out of it down here. As well as getting both of these cities due to the heal. It can keep the HQ cap going. I probably would have taken the city, but I guess it's fine to want to keep the walls going over here. Okay. So looks like Super 5125 is stabilized on his HQ side. These captures do get actually delayed because ImDomination had to use the power first. I mean, I think this should be preventable. You can always have double sacrifice into the 7 health, and then, or maybe the 3 isn't able to sacrifice. That would be a problem. I can super die. It's a fine. Oh no, it was a roll. ImDomination resigns. GG. Didn't knock it down to 5, only down to 6. The extra defense. Oof. Oof. Well played. What's the worst matchup to play? It's probably like Sonya versus Combi or something like that. Another dfox game against someone else. I think these are both sent in by the non-dfox players. I think Sonya's the worst CO. Same map too, I know. dfox Lash again. But this time it's against Strider playing as Grimm. I think these are both league games, if I understand it correctly. You heard Sonya for a moment? Yeah, I think Sonya's the worst CO. I mean, Sonya versus Hachi's probably pretty bad, but I can't imagine Sonya doing well against Combine. It's always map specific though. You can always find a map that could mess up Combine really bad. Playing Andy versus Max in high funds is an absolute nightmare. If you want an actual matchup that you'll run into. I was thinking I thought Strider didn't move this infantry. No early cons. Strider could build. Okay, Strider doesn't build a vehicle, saving the cash. Does get the airport pretty quick here. Players, no vehicles built. Nice and peaceful. Oh, never mind. Strider builds a tank. down here. It'll be just in time to interrupt this capture. dfox goes for the same move with building an artillery over here. We have a fast copter this time before any anti-airs get built. In response to it. Double artillery this time. Here comes the ultimate test. You could go in here and just sacrifice the tank to interrupt this. It would probably be worth it. Just because it's high fun. Nice central presence from Strider here. We do have the 2 infantry go in, take this guy out. Nothing really covering them though. They're super toasty. Never mind, they're left completely alone. Wow, okay. Strider's got some sort of like intimidation trick he did there. What they did there. I like the infantry interrupt over here. Looking good. Aggressive posturing on the 1 base side. Trying to go for this city. We did just see a dfox game. Why Andy versus Max? Because Andy likes to have units survive encounters so he can heal them up, and Max likes to just one-shot units while also having a lot of movement. But this, I don't think either of these games were sent in by dfox. Well, we do have a breakthrough. Look at dfox. It's not just rockets. dfox finds the breakthroughs to hit indirects. It's the specialty. The hidden day-to-day. But Strider does get this city. Okay, starts moving stuff over here to save the 1 base side. No indirects left over here. We have plenty of copters. dfox this time gets the comm tower very quickly. Right away. He is now under pressure. Nice little push forward on the left side here for dfox to go for this city. So right now Strider's had a nice economic edge. We'll see how long that holds. Oh, we have our own little breakthrough to try and hit this artillery. It is covered by a mech and this tank, so it's not nearly as profitable as what dfox went for, but you know, it's still something. For sure. Definitely good to get these trades on the 1 base side. Strider just lets this go, which I definitely understand. That's a pretty nasty army to try and sacrifice units into to delay a capture. Okay, the artillery does kill off an infantry over here. And, ooh, actually, I didn't notice that before, but yeah, only the tank or the mech can hit this tank. They're sharing the same tile to use, so it actually gets to survive. Never mind, the copter goes in. That is going to be vulnerable to this anti-air, though. Ooh, this tank holds its ground. Whoa. Late in the term terrain tactics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does let this anti-air reach this copter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which will let the medium tank through. Never mind, the medium tank could have done that anyway. It's a very spicy terrain tactics. I'm not super convinced of it. I just let that attack happen too, though, which is nice. Well, here I think we're going to see a Grimm super, and it's going to do some nice damage for sure. Although this anti-air is not really touchable. Pop. Oh, it lived. Terrain tactics, extra defense from just being in power. That tank. Tiger gets hit. There's the medium tank. He gets hit. Oh, I see. This wasn't the Grimm super. This is just a Grimm normal power. That would explain why that lived. Okay. Strider's still maintaining a pretty nice income lead. dfox is getting the mech value. Copter does get the kill off an anti-air. Always very satisfying to do that. Medium tank goes down. We have a join cap on that city. Anti-air does die to do 5 to Copter. That's okay. You kind of prefer to keep the anti-airs alive, but it is what it is. Some pressure is definitely coming in on this airport. We might see another Grimm normal power used here. Neo tank is just going to pop this. So going in for the interrupts. Oh, even better. Breakthrough. Hit the anti-air. Kill the infantry in the middle. This is looking very good for Strider. He's going to take another terrain tactics or the Lash super to hit this Copter. Bomber built from Strider. Just an infantry. Ooh, get the kill him with 4 health. Looking good. dfox does use the terrain tactics. Kills off the Copter. A little breakthrough over here. Ooh, it's even a better terrain tactics because it kills off this anti-air. That's huge. Now there's nothing blocking this airport. Very good progress on the left-hand side for dfox. Right is still looking very contested, but Strider's position's not looking nearly as strong as it did. Right there, it doesn't quite reach. Assuming this one dies. So, city is saved. Strider does get to maintain economic edge, but that only matters if the game kind of stalls out a tiny bit and the units get to pile up. I know we've only seen terrain tactics from dfox. You yearn for when Lash Comp is the default. It apparently is now. Someone let Reimer know. The forbidden technique is now just the technique. Okay. dfox just backed off, which is not usually what you want to be doing. Again, someone who's making more money than you, you want to be able to pressure them somewhere and try and get that economic edge back. Okay, artillery forward. We do have medium tank strike that does give just enough charge for the normal power. Yeah, it's a little spicy for sure. There goes the Copter. We have the Knuckle Duster from Strider. Try and deal with the mech army over here. Take out the artillery. Bring in the artillery. Drone. Bomber. Medium tank just backs up a tiny bit. I don't know why it only went to there. I think going over to this city would make sense to me. I guess this copter really wanted to stay here, so this has to stay here as a blocker. A little questionable. This is the first time we've seen prime tactics used by dfox. Fluffy's sense is all off. Ooh, the tank survived at 1. Wow! I thought that would kill for sure. That 10% defense on Strider is doing some serious work. The anti-air has to... Whoa! The anti-air has to be used there. And that means that can't be used to kill this copter. I mean, dfox could have used this infantry to kill this tank off instead of the anti-air, and then this wouldn't be a problem. Okay, hit the artillery. It does go down, and I get to hit the anti-air. There's another anti-air over here, though. Okay, so dfox, decent turn there. Still looking very much in Strider's advantage. We have another knuckle duster that comes out for Grimm. Ooh, and the lab cap starts. Bomber kills off the Neo tank. Anti-air blocks the way very rudely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I see. But even if the anti-air can kill this bomber, because dfox used the super instead of terrain tactics, it's going to be hard to get the charge to terrain tactics to get this tank to skate through these forests and clear the way. You hate to see dfox punished. Although I don't know if there'd be enough charge. There's not really enough charge available anyway to get it. Fox resigns. Very nice breakthrough and lab cap seen by Strider. GG. That was very brave. Mr.Ko versus Pastiche. dfox is your new favorite player. There you go. Pastiche, almost the right country. Okay. A corner airport locked in from pipe seams. I don't think I know this map. We have an airport hidden behind a mountain in the corner. Triple base. Otherwise, we have a black boat that can move back and forth on the shoals here. It's got one spot that barely matters if it's standing on, and then it has one spot that's really annoying for it to be standing on because it blocks this base from sending vehicles out this way. Oh, this is Smacky Cup Finals. Gotcha. Well, we have Drake versus Andy, which is a very classic matchup. One that's very tempo-driven with their powers. Where the powers get used for tempo. So we'll see how they decide to go about this. We have a tank built from Pastiche and one from Mr.Ko. They're built from different bases, so they have very different ideas of how they want to go about this. There's 4 labs on the map, but this is an HQ map. You let me win my... Well, thank you, Lopsided Moz. Whole videos have been made about Andy versus Drake. It's true. Okay, Mr.Ko goes for fairly quick artillery to deal with this black boat, which I definitely understand. But Oh, I see. So Mr.Ko saw... Mr.Ko must have seen this infantry walk onto this river. Is that what happened? Let's go back a bit. No. That was hidden from Mr.Ko's vision. So Mr.Ko uses some spidey senses here. Just predicting that this is how the infantry moved, and then blocks its access to the base. Or not the base, the city. Deny income for a turn. It does let this other infantry through, but that's okay. Economic damage has been dealt. I know, it was a soul read with the black boat. Tanks are moving towards each other. No one went with a transport opening. And this map looks like it'd be very good for a transport opening because it takes so long to get these vehicles established. And these bases are walking across moats. So you can walk across a moat and get picked up by a transport. And you'll be very happy. Maybe there just isn't any good transport routing. You have Mr.Ko with a much faster airport over here. Ooh, very, very forward with these captures, which is something I don't usually recommend in Fog of War. Because it's really hard to defend very forward captures, and you'll just end up hurting yourself having gone for them, because you'll lose them. Wouldn't it be better to trap the B-boat with an infantry? See if having to dedicate an artillery, but then you have to... Then you have an infantry forever glued there. Oh, the artillery doesn't even fire on the black boat. It just moves on past. Mr.Ko has other intentions. It looks like the intentions are to lock this comm tower. And Pastiche is going to lock, or it's going to free this airport in the corner. I think Pastiche is going to get an income advantage because of denying this. Pastiche is going to get an income advantage when they take this city. I mean, this chain is slightly faster. That's a weird movement on this artillery. I thought the idea was to lock this comm tower, in which case I would move either to this forest or this one. I guess just having the infantry over here is enough to port it. Although it looks like this is Mr.Ko's comm tower, considering how easy Pastiche got to this one. Okay, this infantry has now been spotted. 2 infantry, sadly, in range of going for this city capture. This is a very spicy little city skip to try and get this city. Saves the infantry, runs away. No one's going for this comm tower yet. Okay, so both of these black boats have been kind of just left to be blockers. We do have a medium tank coming out from Pastiche, which is very intimidating. Definitely good for Andy though. It's a nice big unit. Okay, here's the city falling, which is why I don't like it when players go for, and I don't like personally going for very forward cities. Same like this one. Although this one actually has some nice guards over it. Okay, artillery shot followed up by recon, and then the infantry starts capping it. Very, very nice. I mean, this infantry should be able to deny this capture. I would think Mr.Ko would be feeling comfortable enough to do that, because never mind. Because there's most of the vehicles over here. Does deny this capture. Looks like we're going to have a little front switch over to this section. So if Pastiche ends up sending vehicles to fight these guys, we have tanks from both fronts that can help out. Now we have a transport copter built. Oh, just infantry go in here though. We break through on the pipe seam and go for this airport. This is something that Mr.Ko will see, is that the pipe seam is broken. There the city does fall. Pastiche gets this city, although I suspect it also will. And there's economic damage going forward. Although Mr.Ko is going to get both center cities, so there's that going for him. Transportcopter moving over here. This is where he'd really like to be Sammy. He can pick up right away. There might even be a Sammy rush to just go take this HQ. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop off. You almost can do it in just 2 turns. This is the one you start with. But Sammy can probably still do it. Have us move down the seed? Oh, I'm so sorry. It does look very hard to reinforce the HQ side until the airport's online. Okay. Pastiche, very nice, goes for the recon strike first to get vision of what they're up against. Although sees the quadruple tank and then still pushes forward here, which is mighty daring when you only have 2 tanks that can attack. Yeah, I like this though. Definitely time to attack pretty much with most of your stuff on the left side when you see so much still invested over here. Okay. Oh, that's so awkward. The Neo Tank is going to be forced to walk through forests on the next turn. A little bit awkward how this turn went down. I would really have liked to have a full health tank hit this one and this one, and use the injured 6 health tank to hit this one again, rather than as that went down. Definitely want to fall back on the left hand side because pretty much all the vehicles are invested over here. And we have another Neo tank built on this side, which will make this medium tank really sad if it gets caught out. Okay, the city looks like it's gonna fall. Okay, for Pastiche, and this city also looks like it's probably gonna fall soon. Pastiche has to fall back over here for sure. Go keeping these units alive, which is good. Get that repair value. Does decide to go in, try and deny the city capture. Has nothing to deal with the medium tank currently. I guess the Neo tank can actually make it there. So it's going to depend on if this medium tank decides to move forward, or if it just goes back and kills this recon. Okay, I do like this front shift from Mr.Ko. Like it a lot. The army from Pastiche kind of backed off in this direction rather than like this direction, so it can't front shift to match. Ooh, okay, so the tank killed off that recon. The medium tank does back off. Ooh, but that's still in range of getting hit by this Neo tank. It's just sitting on the plains. Things are looking mighty spicy for Mr.Ko's future turn here. And we have double bombers built from Pastiche. Now, bombers are pretty nice as Andy because they don't die in one hit to anti-airs. But against Drake, they can die in one hit to anti-airs because they'll get chipped down by the Drake power. So you do have to be a little bit careful doing that. Ooh, that is very fortunate for Pastiche because this tile would be a tile that the Neo tank could strike from. So now the Neo tank will have to strike from this city, which will mean that the anti-air has to expose itself, kill off this infantry. We go, and that's something that Pastiche likes to see because yeah, there's double copter here, so if the anti-air gets taken out, then it will be much easier for these copters to do stuff, although there is also a backup anti-air, so very nicely thought out by Mr.Ko there. It stays pretty restrained on this side. You have to break through the hit anti-air. So I'm not super thrilled about sending copters against the Neo tank that's on the city. The value's, I mean, there's a little bit of value to it, but it's just like heal up to 7. It's pretty happy. Ooh. Okay, so this is really good for Mr.Ko. I don't know why Pastiche used the super here. I guess I'm about to find out. And the reason why this is really good for Mr.Ko is because now there's no power to heal off the Drake super that's incoming. This was an off. Wait, what? Pastiche, why? Oh, I see. The super was used so the medium tank could hit the Neo tank. It was an attempt to kill that. Well, usually you need more than just one attack to use the Andy super in this matchup. It would have to be a heck of an attack. So now Mr.Ko can use the super and the damage will stick. Very painful for Andy, because when the damage sticks, all of those units are now easier to kill off as well. And then once the units are killed off, they can't be healed up. This infantry really should have killed off this 6 health infantry though. Not quite sure why it moved there. Just pure anti-air chains. I like it. Bunch of kills over here. Does survive at 1. Get a mech strike. The tank finishes off the tank, and the infantry gets hit over here. Survives at 1 as well. There's no anti-air on this front currently, so this bomber coming over here is really a big deal. Mr.Ko definitely should have had anti-air over here though, because this has been broken for a while now. Mr.Ko should also probably break this. If for nothing else, it is extra money. The bomber does not know, of course, that there's another anti-air. I would probably go for this attack too. Like, what are the odds that my opponent did a triple chain of anti-airs? Okay. This is... I would not attack in here. I would definitely have ran away and just try and lick my wounds. I would be incredibly suspicious of an anti-air covering this Neo tank. But even just doing 4 damage isn't really worth it. Okay, so Pastiche did get a little bit of a power lead here. Sadly, he's going to lose the bomber, and that's where you get really sad that you're against break. And your units got knocked down to 8, so they can actually die, and that's a lot of lost value for Andy. Can no longer heal those units up, and the HQ side is actually looking like it's about to completely die. There's only been infantry built over here right now. Very concerning. And yeah, we have a nice breakthrough over here as well. Tons of units going down. The tank's going down. The bomber's just trapped. This is super GG. And Pastiche has resigned. It was looking fairly even, but you have to be very careful with your powers in this matchup. GG. Both of the black boats were just ignored the whole game. Got a short one today. Left, right. Oh, it's the map with the pipe seams in the middle. That super stalled when the Advanced Warrior was showing you, or when the Advanced Warrior's game on. Spoilers. Okay. Going for the bases, I assume. Yeah. Okay. Just moving on out, going for some captures as one does. We have Max versus Olaf. It's a tiny map though, so this is, I would say, in favor of Max for sure. Tiny maps are very dangerous for CEOs fighting Max. His vehicles will get a lot of play, especially if these pipe seams were gone. Then he could strike very easily on both fronts. What do I think of this map? Well, I'm not a huge fan of it just looking at it, because I like maps where I can front shift, even in standard, and when there's obstacles put in the way, I'm not a huge fan of that. Because I feel like that pretty much always push towards stalling. You give it to Olaf. Well, Olaf likes really big maps because that means there's more money in play and there's more units in play, so the global damage and the snow will mess more stuff up and also have a much easier time actually coming into play. Because he has no day-to-day, and a lot of this is going to come down to just day-to-day fights for quite a while. Just as a smaller map has less money on it. So charges don't build up as fast. And then there's also, of course, going to be less units because of that. Ooh, nice copter build from Pseudo Drifter here. Ooh. Max doesn't care though. He's going to invite this copter strike. The would have probably loved to have killed off this tank, but the artillery was covering it. Run away. Ooh, okay, so the copter hits the tank on the city, and that's because now it's also working as a blocker. I think is why. So that this tank can't go through here and hit here. But I think it's fine to hit the tank on the plains, because you can. I assume there's going to be another copter built to guard this area. And this tank can always follow through and beat this tank up. Ooh, okay, we have a tank used to cover. Never mind. Copter. Huge infantry storm over here, though, by Pseudo Drifter. When it comes to infantry, Max is not any stronger, so definitely a lot of pressure being put on this city. Ooh. Artillery does get smacked. It's definitely a little weird. The artillery didn't have to stay there. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world, because it's definitely an overextension. The anti-air is not in range of dealing with anything over here right now anyway. The copter still has some nice hits ahead of it. And then Max doesn't build a copter here, so I mean, this city is super gonna fall. Down goes that tank. Fighting in the middle, that's looking pretty good for Pseudo Drifter. Okay, well, this is a little weird because the 5 health infantry can be cleared out of the way, so this might not actually fall. I would put at least an 8 health infantry here, so that if Max wants to get the city, he'll have to use a power to do it. Right now, Max is getting some nice money. Did join these infantry together, which would suggest that the plan is to go for this city very soon. Oh no, why? So Max has to use this infantry to kill this, and then this guy can interrupt the city. This is a much worse situation. So now, Pseudo Drifter does get this city. And the infantry get beat up. Now there's lots of pressure being put on this comm tower. What? I don't know why Drifter's moving forward with these injured units. They're just gonna die. It's very weird. I mean, I guess it does get some more charge. Wow, this 4 health infantry is left. There's own devices though, it backs off. That's not a good attack. And the reason that's not a good attack is because this only needs 2 capture points to get its to get finished. So even if Pseudo Drifter somehow gets the super here, this won't stop the city from being captured, and now the tank's just like really exposed. Now we're over here is looking really good. For some reason, Max is like religiously opposed or something to building copters. So this entire anti-air free push down here has been very successful. Okay, so we get hit over here. This tank is going to be fine. I really actually don't like this attack that Max chose over here, because this hitting an artillery on a city when it has targets is very dangerous. It's just going to heal up to 6 and still like do decent damage. And I think Pseudo Drifter is going to have like a huge blowout when the Olaf super here. For some reason Max hasn't used any powers. Okay, we do have the copter now, so at this point Pseudo Drifter really just has to run away. It goes for this attack just to get the Winter Fury. Oh, I guess with the Winter Fury, it does make it so the copter can only move here. And because the way that snow works is that it changes the cost. It adds 1 to the cost. So instead of costing 1 each step, it costs 2. So if Max wants to use this copter in order to hit this tank, he has to use the super. If you just use the normal power, it's not going to gain any move, and you're really, really sad. Really good attacks over here. And the anti-air is blocked from reaching the copter. I don't know why, but Pseudo Drifter refuses to build an anti-air in response to this copter. Loading 6k for next turn, though. Okay, we do have the Max Blast in the snow. And now this copter can't actually reach this tank because the infantry is. You can sacrifice a tank. Here. Nice unit count lead for Pseudo Drifter. Tank strike, join up there. Okay, hit the artillery. Makes sense. Kill off the infantry, but now the anti-air. Don't do that. Don't do that in your games when your only anti-air on the front goes forward to kill a 4 health infantry while surrounded by tanks in range of the airport, and there's also a copter in the field. If you do that, you need to also build an anti-air immediately to replace it, because it's super going to die. Probably want to reverse those orders, but this tank just gets to keep swinging at this artillery. Okay. I would probably start retreating over here. Okay, here comes the anti-air, but I'd be falling back towards the anti-air. I do like the copter buy. Very good. There's nothing over here to deal with it. What? Why join the 9? Pickle on the artillery. The Max is still up by 2k, which is pretty nice. But so many free hits This copter probably should have hit this tank. Just for better value. Okay. I mean, I don't really need to hit this anti-air. I'm not actually sure why the anti-air is. Did the copter make it? Somehow? I don't remember why this anti-air is over here. Oh, I know it stopped the copter. So I'm not quite sure why Drifter went for that attack. It does invite the copter strike. It's not the worst thing. Smack. The anti-air can't quite reach yet, but it will be able to soon. Oh, can we join up to 10 on the city? Just stop. Stop. I'm saying stop because it doesn't matter that this guy's at 9 health, and it's just reducing your unit count. So if it's an 8 health on the mountain and then a 1 health on the mountain or anywhere else, that takes at least 3 units to take out. If the 1 health joins the 8 health on the mountain, that can still die in just 2 hits. So you're just reducing the amount of effort that your opponent has to put forward in order to clear your units up. But the attack order over here with the artillery and the tank, well, you want to hit with the artillery first so that you take less retaliation on your tank. Exactly what context. And in this case, it would be 0 retaliation. This copter has done a very good job, and you can tell because it's out of ammo. Okay. Incomes are now evened up. Recon goes down. The anti-air is now over here. Completely uncontested, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can send this tank over and kill off this anti-air. However, this copter strike's not something I would probably go for because it does invite a max normal power. Is what happens. That's a really weird copter move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it wants to go down here, it's got the extra movement, so it should go and attack from here. If it's attack from here, the anti-air can reach it. So that's very weird. Now this could have been done on purpose by Olaf in order to get Max to use the power and then get enough charge to use the Olaf super. Maybe. We'll know in a second because this copter that has no ammo would be the perfect thing to sacrifice into an anti-air. Nope. Never mind. He's also fine with attacking him. Tank. This is fine. I think this could have been done if like the full health tank hit from here and then this 8 health tank kills this off and then this tank kills off this anti-air, then it's super guaranteed that you get the comm tower, but I think it doesn't matter because there'll just be 2 low HP vehicles to try and stop it anyway. Fury. This tank decided it wanted to heal, it didn't want to beat up a recon. I understand. Doing the reverse, yeah. Doing the reverse is good when you're trying to get charge. Wait a second. This infantry didn't move. It can start the comm tower capture. Well, I guess it can still go for the comm tower capture. Okay, Pseudo Drifter is way up in unit count, which is a big deal. Because that's unit count is one of the hardest things to come back in. Because you have a bottleneck on the amount of production that you have available to you. And the only times that you get ahead in unit count is when you're able to build more than your opponent, or you're able to get trades that are beneficial for you. It's not one-to-one trades. That's really tough to do. Tanks are used to go for the city. I'm not quite sure why Pseudo Drifter decided that going for the comm tower is no longer part of the plan, but Max sees the writing on the wall. Way behind in unit count, way behind in unit value. GG. Well played. Okay, we have Devil May Cry 26 versus Daisy Is My Name on Brush with Death. I mean, it's been a long time since I've played Devil May Cry. There might be 26 games at this point. Maybe. I think this is ended by Daisy. It could be the demilitarization camp 26 parallel. You think there's 6? I know they rebooted the franchise. Devil May Cry 26 years old. I don't think it's that old. Bomb bolt bomber survive missile, not with all these comm towers. If it was a Javier bomber, it would. Okay, we have a bomb bolt mirror on Brush with Death. We'll see what kind of opening players go for here. But yes, based on their first vehicles. So there's a few ones you can do. You can go try and go for like recon harassment down here, or tank harassment, or the more meta common approach is to go for fast artillery. And with the fast artillery, you can either push down this way, or you can do the LVJD thing. Go for the classic LVJD lock, placing the artillery here. It's a nice little move because it has an obvious threat that people respond to, which is to lock this city. And then it has the LVJD lock, namesake of locking this city across the pipes. So that's a very common thing that we see nowadays. Looks like Devil May Cry is going to go with a tank first, which should mean there's going to be some aggression put down towards here. Daisy is just going to respond tank to tank, so try and go for a more even setup here rather than some counter aggression, which is fine. It lets you build up more infantry for a later push over here. does just take the hit and go back to repair, which is also fine. Forward. Okay, now we have a tank built over here. Ooh, double tank built. Just in infantry. Okay, so we're going to have some counter aggression going on. The islands are not being utilized. There's no boats being built, and the bases are no longer being built from either. You can always build an artillery if you want to break this pipe seam and try and get this city, but it can be kind of dangerous because once this airport comes online, they can start harassing it immediately. So one thing to keep in mind for the Von Bolt mirror is that Von Bolt has a really hard time dealing with another Von Bolt's tank on a city. Okay. Pop. Because 2 tanks will just not kill another tank. Although I think it does, it might take 140%. I don't think 130 quite does it. So we have a fast rocket from Devil May Cry 26, which is a very weird thing to do when you are already pushing very heavily down here, because this rocket is going to slow this tempo of this attack by quite a bit. But the idea with the rocket is it kills the missile and that lets the airport go. It's 140, the Grimm special. Yeah. Okay. Tanks coming in here for Daisy. Looks like we're not going to invite any nasty fights over here. You can see just the power. The Von Bolt tank on a city. The other Von Bolt tanks don't want to mess with it. Okay. So there wasn't a rocket built in response. So Devil May Cry is going to have some turns of having an airport advantage. Okay, at this point you would probably end up attacking in, because you have the superior reinforcements. So you'd probably go tank strike from the forest, tank strike from the road, infantry strike from the road to try and get the kill. And then build another tank, and then Devil May Cry is going to be the World of Hurt over here. If that's not what you want to do, you have to kind of build a rocket, because you need to deal with the missile so that you're not getting wrecked by an airport and have no answer. Okay, there comes the copter. Okay, group of 5 tanks over here. It's a lot of pressure. Okay, here comes the rocket now. Copter's just going to move down here with the rocket follow-up. We have a strike on this infantry. It looks like Daisy's just going to let these cities go and maybe just try and trade them off over here. We do have a nice tank advantage. This attacking force after all. Oh, never mind. We're not letting that city go. I take it back. Got a medium tank built. That'll definitely help with all these tanks chilling on cities. The rocket's in place to kill off the missile next turn. We do have the double copters on the way, so this is going to start forcing anti-air out of this base. If you're ever getting overwhelmed on this map, you can always break this pipe seam to connect the airport and this base to try and stabilize. Okay, rocket is super in play now. Tank built Oh, Devil May Cry. Artillery does kill off this infantry. Tank just scoots forward. Outside of the rocket range. Do a breakthrough to hit this artillery. It's going to let the medium tank get a nice swing. But it's definitely going to be tough to stop these cities from falling. Okay. Daisy does injure pretty much all of the infantry. It does slow down these captures a tiny bit. You can win the map while ignoring the airport, yeah. Artillery's definitely going to get beat up. I probably wouldn't have sacrificed the infantry just because there's lots of follow-up infantry, so the cities are going to fall either way. I like to keep them more as annoying blockers. Okay. Rocket scooting forward. There wasn't anything built from this airport when the rocket died, which is definitely odd. We do have double artillery built to help with this attack. Down go the tanks. Rocket is going to get to fire on this medium tank unless Daisy is able to get enough charge, in which case the super is probably going to hit over here. Looks like that is going to be the avenue approach here. Strike there. Go. Super. If it hits the rocket, that's really nice. Oh no! Ooh, that really... I don't know how close that was in value. I guess double medium tank's really hard to offset. So when it comes to magneting and where like the bomb bolt missile's going to hit, it only cares if it can do 3 damage. So that's the value check it has, where like the Sturm one cares about the total value of the units and will like redirect even if you knock it from 10 to 9. The bomb bolt one will only redirect if you knock it from like 4 to 3 and 3 to 2. It does base lock. That's true. And then it's up to Daisy to build a magnet. Should squish. Looks like we're just gonna have these guys get hit. So these ones getting hit doesn't matter for Daisy. And Devil May Cry should definitely have killed these off so that the missile hits somewhere that matters, because these guys are gonna die either way. So that went really well for Daisy and as far as supers. Or pretty much as well as it could have. We have this medium tank getting surrounded. This one isn't quite surrounded, so the base is still alive. The indirects are not quite here yet. Just a normal tank is built here, which is definitely not ideal, but it can't quite get broken yet, so that's okay. Copter does hit the tank. Whoa. Oh, that's a roll. I see. A 30 plus 30% firepower. Still a roll to get it. The tank does die, but there's nothing over here to stand on the base. Then we just have medium tanks being chained over here. Just a straight up base skip. 1,000 was available. Okay, we do have the rocket here. The artillery are guarding the rocket. If they could have gone farther forward, I would have liked them to go. Okay. Tank finishes that off. We do have a medium tank built down here. At this point, it's going to come down to who can build. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, because this base can be just surrounded like so, and now the medium tank can get picked off pretty easily, while this one's still pretty alive and well. Ooh, and we have a black bow built. 2 infantry load into it immediately. Okay, looks like we're going to be able to surround this base as well. And there's a lot of indirects ready to take it out, so it's not really that much different than what's going to happen down here. Except there's less indirects ready. So both players are probably going to lose their bases at about the same time-ish. Devil May Cry is setting themselves up to break through this pipe seam, though. We have another rocket built from Daisy to deal with it. You can always build a transport copter to go for this base. Or not base, but city. There it does break through to hit that artillery. And then we have the mega tank built. Takes that double base skip to do it. And this is probably going to end up costing a fair bit. I probably would not have attacked with the copter. As you can see, it didn't end up doing much. Daisy does delete the medium tank to build a new one. Yep. And the infantry are ready for wherever this tries to drop off. I assume it's just going for this. Medium tank still survives for now. Mega kills off an infantry. Oh, the rocket is actually down to 1 ammo. Blam, blam, blam. The Mega brought down to 2. Down to 1. We're gonna have a sacrifice and then an attempt at a roll, I assume. Doesn't quite get it. Let's still get this city though. Ex Machina, if it hits down here, which is nice, it will actually maintain the base from being captured. Same thing's probably gonna happen over here for sure. 5 teams at 27. Bunch of infantry being built for Daisy. Currently a race to see who can actually get the base at the same first. No. Well, that's a pretty bad mistake, because it invites this infantry to strike with the rocket instead of just the rocket, letting the minis be a shield. Ooh, there wasn't an anti-air built over here, but it should be okay. You can still make a little barricade to protect the rocket from the copter. Oh, never mind. The rocket just one-shot the mega tank on the base. Okay, so Daisy is going to be the one to get the base first. Oh, never mind. That blocks too. Yeah, that's good. Daisy builds a Neo tank here. Could have joined something? No, there was nothing to join. What? Well, the copter could interrupt this capture. I guess it won't be... With the join, it won't be stoppable completely. Decides to come over here to deal with this copter, though. Which is fair. It's going to cost a lot of money to keep this base up up and running. Okay, we do have a breakthrough on this pipe scene, which I didn't even see was getting shot down. Okay, then Neotank kills off an infantry over here. This pipe seems at 25, so it can be killed by this rocket at any time. Although at this point, Daisy would like it to die so that all of these units can come in and try and save this base. Neotank's at 3. Neotank's at 1. Died of the tank. Starts capturing. If the rocket had been able to make it to here, I mean, it's not really safe to stand there, but then they can lock the base. Ooh. I mean, it looks like this airport is, I mean, it's not quite guaranteed to be captured, but very close to it. And you can set it up so that it's very painful to stop by using the indirects, yeah. Okay, Devil May Cry does get the base at this point, so just a couple turns to Daisy's advantage there. Rocket does just kill off the infantry. Breakthrough, killing off that copter that was built. Vesper copter comes back here. We had an artillery build in the city. It's definitely getting pretty spicy with the two different attacks here. Rocket does fire. Lots of artillery are now set up to help defend over here. Ha! The artillery is used to block the anti-airs away from these copters. A very intimidating attack from Daisy. Attack, and then Devil May Cry does attack in here. Ooh, we have the Neotank breakthrough, followed by a tank breakthrough, and then kills off that infantry. Okay, the copter hits the artillery. I'm not super sold on that. I mean, the breakthrough is nice, but it's leaving a lot of stuff vulnerable. Ooh, this is looking really good for a very nice turn for Daisy. Coming up here, a lot of vehicles are going to get just shredded. Neotank beat up. Down goes the anti-air. Down goes that anti-air. Just one-shotted by that rocket. We have the airport being captured. We can use blockers over here. Artillery moves forward as a nice blocker. Choppers don't quite know what they're doing. Looks like they're going to come back this way. So he decides to shoot at that anti-air. Building tanks over here. Artillery, tank. Okay. This is looking very good for Daisy. The next... ooh, that is absolutely brutal. The next Vombolt Super is going to hit some very prized targets for either player. Everything's so grouped up in these choke points. Daisy is starting to run out of infantry that can start going for this capture, though. Ooh, 3 health artillery does 2 damage to that Neotank. Both indirects are used. Neither got to hit this, but we do have infantry. Rocket gets another one shot on anti-air. Now goes that tank. This tank hit that anti-air, and now this airport is super dead. I feel like this rocket was very much asked to move, but Daisy disagrees. And I assume that's because we're going to be going for the super. Although I think to go for the super, you have to use the rocket here, and then tank, and then anti-air hits copter to maybe get enough charge. Yeah. Now Daisy's not going to be able to get quite enough charge. That's okay. It might not have been enough anyway. So we have the Ex Machina. That is a very painful Ex Machina. So now this airport is 100% going to get captured. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Never mind. It's still going to be 100% captured. Unless Devil May Cry puts too many units over here and the Ex Machina hits the airport, which it looks like it's going to. Oh no. Oh. Well, this doesn't work as a magnet because Daisy can just kill this anti-air off before using the Ex Machina. Oh, never mind. This magnet was just far enough away, so they are going to just swap airports. Very, very interesting. Okay, Daisy does have a nice advantage in unit count here. Down goes this rocket. The artillery, this one will have a nice shot on this tank. We do have, again, entering into the medium tank spam. Let's try and hold this base now. Tank comes in, finishes off that tank. He does get this city and this one, so we now have an economic edge for Daisy. Break through. There's no anti-air over here right now. So this copter is an invincible wall. Rocket's on its way. We have an anti-air on its way. So this airport looks like it's going to fall pretty soon. While the one over here for Daisy's doing just dandy. Another copter built here. Up 9 units. This is looking super GG. The artillery does get to fire only on a one. Okay. A little bit of a breakthrough there. The problem is every time you move the medium tank off, you have to put something else on there. Although now the rocket is in range to try and keep it alive. Oof. Infantry just used over here. Yeah, I can't build anything for the airport. You have the anti-air. Yeah. We have the Neo tank built, trying to hold it. This is looking like Daisy's come out on top. Complete breakthrough. It's really hard for a single base to deal with base plus airport pressure, especially when the airport's right there. Like if a bomber gets built here, then I don't think, there we go. I don't think there's anything that DMC can do. You can also build a stealth at this point, and there'd be nothing that DMC could really do because this airport is under a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's super GG. There's not enough money for a stealth at this point. But I would save up money to threaten to build a stealth, and that's exactly what Daisy's doing. And DMC just resigns way behind at this point in unit count. So very well done by Daisy. That was quite the game. The trading of bases and the trading of airports kind of kept up with each other very nicely. Daisy got him. I know the artillery blocks have been very good. Not blocking for the artillery, but blocking with the artillery. Okay. Right. Here. I'm gonna change Joey's name. Sorry, Joey. For now, just Joey. It was just edgy for me. I have that power. Okay. This is, you say it's an F. It's not an FFA. It's a 4 versus 4. Tag. Incredibly high funds. Incredibly high funds with incredibly high starting funds. How many properties are they starting with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 properties, but they have 66,500 income. And they start with 566,500 funds. It is fog, so Sonia will be nice. There's a little secluded area over here with a comm tower. A bunch of production. Seems balanced. So we have a Hachi. I mean, Hachi seems like he's going to be really good. Eagle also seems like he's going to be really good. I can see Steeler is here with double Eagle, which I could understand with this much money. Oh, my Penguin's covering the bottom 2 players. We'll have to swap sides and move the chat. Now my Penguin's blocking a bit of the chat. I can change it. I guess I can. Oop. Like that. I like this. There we go. Chat, you're blocking my crown. My poor crown. Penguin too big. Put this right here. Okay, so we have 4 versus 4. Everything's over here now. We got Ringtail playing Combi, and Hachi has... Is that Red Fire? Is that Orange Star? That's the Orange Star. This is Red Fire. Okay. Orange Star over here. Allied with Dutchy, who's playing Grit and Von Bolt over here. And we have Potato Tank with Hachi Grit. I assume we're going to see a lot of indirects being built. Over here. And then Joey. Right over here is Red Fire. I will point out that this is not well balanced for turn advantage, as Team A gets the first 3 player moves, and then Team B gets 1, and then Team A gets the last 1, and then Team B gets the last 3. So that is not a great order for turn advantage balance, especially if there's no infantry placed, but that's okay. And it looks like the way that the players are placed on the map, we have Potato Tank and Duchy on the front lines. And they're going to be fighting against Botany Enjoyer and Stealer on the front lines. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so the front lines for Team B are three players. This is just a weird map. Okay, so for Team A here, we have 2 frontline players and then 2 backline players. And then Team B just has 3 frontline players with 1 backline player. And there's also no... Oh, no, there's a harbor there. Okay, so everyone has 1 harbor, everyone has 2 bases, everyone has 1 airport, and 1 comm tower. Okay. Well, this looks kind of tough for Team A, but at the same time, they do have the turn advantage, so maybe that's why they have the turn advantage. You're not sure 1 infantry is the proper FTA counter for 9k funds? That is very true. You'd really want to use the turn order to balance the turn advantage, but the map itself isn't with really symmetrical positions, so I don't think that's going to be much of a concern. So we have a sub first down here. From Ringtail, I need to make this so it doesn't keep the order static, so we can see who's first or playing. And we have Duchy, who goes for a very fast grit battleship, as we would expect. Whoa! I just noticed that Duchy does not have an airport. Duchy instead gets double harbor, but one of the harbors is landlocked, but with a shoal. So that is not true for Team B. They just get to all have an airport. So sucks to suck, Duchy. I'm so sorry that you get a rather useless harbor. Probably should have built some black boats from it though. For now. We have double... What is this opening? Potato Tank with double missile fighter sub. Definitely recognizing that there's an airport disadvantage for their team. But as a Hachi player, you would definitely want to start with infantry so you could capture more cities, so you could start using your Hachi power to build more from those cities. I don't know why Green Earth is getting absolutely robbed here. Oh, Brown Desert. Brown Desert only starts with 1 base? Oh. Wait. So Team A starts with both of their bases captured, but for Team B, they don't start with this base captured. They don't start with this base captured. This player does start with both bases captured. And this player doesn't even have double bases. So this one just has a harbor, an airport, and 1 base? What is this balance? Also didn't build from this harbor. Really should. I mean, there's a lot of extra money on the field. Ooh, we have a fast carrier, a fast recon from the back player, and not an infantry to capture this other base. Okay, we have the sub aggressively moving out down here. Okay, bomber, mega tank. Okay, we have a carrier. This is never going to move, but it is a very strong carrier because it actually locks the starting airport of Steeler, and that's a good airport to lock because that is an Eagle airport. I don't know there's much that Steeler can do about it, except that there wasn't anything built that can see it yet. So there's going to be some units available to be built. If a bomber gets built here, it can go after the carrier, I guess. Bomber does get built, but this is not known about yet. Okay, we now have an infantry to go after this base. We have a transport copter, I assume, to pick up this infantry to go after this base. Okay. Ooh. Sub has moved down here and is camping on this harbor. This carrier can just kill this fighter, like so, and that should, huge alarm bells should go off for Steeler. I don't think there's a way of spotting this. Ooh, the missile, those turn 1 missiles. We do have a kill from one. Immediate pressure being put over here. Okay. Copters are probably not the answer when you have so much money. Okay, huge air force coming out from our back player here. The back player being a Hachi player makes a lot of sense. I think they do have one city on the front lines so they can build stuff from. Steeler does go for the hit on this battleship and builds a fighter. We'll see if Dutchy just steps up here, then I think that this is just a super destroyed airport. Ringtail now with double comm tower. Transport copter, and we have a lander here. Going down here, getting another comm tower and all of this production would be really good. Because, I mean, you've got infinite money, so production's really the only thing that's holding you back. I guess it's not quite infinite money, but, you know, it's close. Huge attacks in from here. From Potato Tank. The fighter comes over here and takes out this bomber too. Potato Tank's on a rampage. Botany Enjoyer is in a lot of trouble. Looks like this infantry didn't step onto the mountain, so this airport isn't quite locked. It might be that Dutchy doesn't quite realize the lock that is presently available. Ooh, we do have Botany Enjoyer using the Sensei power, which Botany Enjoyer actually had cities on these islands. They'll get a nice comm tower. This base is looking to be in a little bit of trouble for Steeler. It does have a lot of carriers being built over here. Built another fighter. This first one got trapped over here on this fighter somehow. I think that was a known about fighter, but watching the replays on these is always tough. Okay, well, I think the carrier is going to be ending up killing this guy. You have the bomber come through, one shot the anti-air on the base. That's very bad news for Steeler. Carrier does kill that bomber. Now this airport is officially locked. And there's an anti-air just a case. Okay. Missile gets another kill. I mean, I was definitely dubious of these turn 1 double missile plays, but Potato Tank knew what was up. This is a very weird from Potato Tank though. Doesn't stand on the base with this fighter, as that would be just the worst thing that could ever happen to the Steeler. We also have a super available here for Potato Tank, but there hasn't been any infantry built. So there's only 2 cities, it looks like. I'll both build vehicles. This is where having just a couple infantry in play would be really good for Potato Tanks. So you can just unload tons of Hachi units. The more you look at the map, the more it looks like Scotland to you. Okay, fighter first strike. This is Lag Spike. Coming in here trying to save Steeler's base. Joey gets to go for Team A. Smack with the fighter. Hit the Mega Tank for some reason. On the HQ. I mean, money is basically infinite, so going for a pair cost. Okay, Botany Enjoyer. Been struggling over here for sure. Should probably swap over to Eagle. Okay, staying as Sensei. It's gonna get some more cities. We have player Team A coming down here. Very happy. Oh, we have the Lightning Strike from Steeler. Lots of Mega Tanks. Break through here. They kill off the anti-air, kill off a battleship. The carrier is now known about. Pretty strong Lightning Strike. Okay, we have Orange in the back here. Now has this base. Try and get some more of these captures. Is also a Hachi player and is a Sammy player. So we might see the Hachi build a bunch of infantry and then try and get a victory march. But that looks very tough with so many vehicles on the map. All right, how does Dutchy want to approach this? Do a Mega versus Mega Strike. Carrier kills the bomber. I would definitely have killed this bomber and then used the cruiser to attack this bomber. No need to let Steeler have a bomber available. Steeler did not swap COs here, which is a huge mistake. Should definitely be swapping after a lightning strike so you can build up charge and use another lightning strike on the next turn and just constantly chain them. There's going to be a lot of destruction happening here. We have the Samurai Spirit from Lag Spike. Huge, just bottleneck over here. Lag Spike has resigned. That's not good for Team B. Yes, suddenly all of those units just vanish. Joey does use the Merchant Union, so it can build off of all of these cities. And here we have a huge wave of mega tanks. Sounds very fair. For some reason, didn't build a mega tank from this city, but that's okay. Bonnie Enjoyer looking kind of rough. Oh, Steeler did swap. It just didn't tell me. Okay. That's good. Okay, well, now it looks like this harbor is super dead for this carrier. The lightning strike. Get to break through here. A missile built. Hit the carrier. Kill off the carrier. Stand on the harbor with a fighter. Kill off that infantry. Desperately trying to break through over here, but the sub still survives. Okay. So Steeler's actually running out of money because of the double buys, it looks like. Only down all the way to 186k. He does actually have to use these infantry to capture cities. A Merchant Union from orange player over here builds a bunch of Neo tanks with him. Ringtail uses Samurai Spirit. He's going to have a lot of extra production over here eventually. Looks like didn't finish this capture though, which is really bad because now the biggest thing that matters over here is the airport and the harbor. So not getting this finished slows both of those down by a lot. Okay, Dutchy trying to hold on. Probably should switch to Von Bolt because there's no more indirects happening. The stun would be nice too. Potato Tank's rampage is being somewhat halted by Stealer at the moment. Merchant Union gets used, but there's still not enough infantry to actually take these cities to make it matter. We do have the backyard player of Joey who's starting to move forward. Ooh, Joey's actually Javier, so I didn't even notice that. So for Javier should definitely have been given these two comm towers, and then when Javier uses the super, the units will be literally invincible. But fortunately for Team B, Ringtail ended up taking these comm towers, so, or at least this one. So not quite going to be a problem. Bonnie and Joy are having a rough time, should really swap over to Eagle. Stealer gets another double turn. And the blockade has been cleared over here, so all of these Eagle ships are going to be able to come over here and just lay waste to poor Dutchy. We have a huge attack through here. Bam. Broken through. There's just a cruiser here. The back player here, Joey, is coming up to try and save Dutchy, but there's just a few units left, and if they all die, then by route we'll have no more Dutchy. Definitely, I agree. At least I think so, with having Orange take these properties. Actually, I'd probably have Orange take the cities, and I would have Stealer, or probably Stealer, go for like the airport and that, like, so that you'd have an Eagle with more production. Okay, so Dutchy uses Super Snipe. There is a battleship, and there is a missile. Battleship fires. Not the best. Should definitely swap over to Von Bolt. Might not know how. Potato Tank barely being thwarted with his attack into Botany Enjoyer. Joey should probably swap back over to Hachi at this point because there's enough charge to there we go, to build another wave of mega tanks, which is going to be very helpful. Botany Enjoyer is just building a bunch of infantry for some reason. Stealer is double Eagle though. Gonna be a lot of destruction here. A lot of injured fighters. And now we have a mighty Eagle Navy coming in here, and it's really scary if Eagle is able to capture any of these production facilities. Because then units will be built. We have a carrier standing on this harbor now. Units can get built and then act immediately right on the front lines. More mega tanks. Good. Infantry and then APC. Okay, so far Stealer seems to be just kind of wrecking on this side thanks to the double turns. The two back players for Team A haven't really managed to get too much done. I mean, Ringtail's been doing some nice stuff with the air units. Joey's huge wave of units are still approaching. Potato Tank uses Merchant Union again to build infantry from on the cities, which I agree with. I mean, you need to get more city captures so that the merchant union is actually strong enough to matter. Okay. Joey now has double comm tower, which is really good. Or Javier. I assume we're going to see a merchant union here. There we go. Build a bunch of mega tanks. Makes sense. And then swap over. There we go. To Javier. I'd like to see it. Okay. Not looking too good for Botany Enjoyer. The base is almost gone. But at the same time, Duchy's base is looking really, really bad. You have Steeler, who does, of course, have another lightning strike available, as is the way of this much money, and tag Eagle. Looks like we're going to send the Navy around to help out Botany Enjoyer. Love to see it. We have this infantry starting this capture, getting really close to going for the HQ, which would be absolutely huge if Duchy just let that capture go through on the HQ and didn't like resign. Because then when Steeler finishes the HQ capture, all of this stuff will become Steelers. Ringtail running kind of low on units, I think. It's hard to tell because it's, well, you know what? I don't have to deal with that. I can, there. Okay. Much easier to see. Okay, Ringtail is not running that low on units. Has quite a bit on the front lines. Even has a mega tank over here trying to help out. Ooh, okay, so Duchy resigns here. So Steeler's not going to be able to capture the HQ. Botany Enjoyer is about to get the second base. Joey does have the super as Javier, and Joey should be really eyeing this comm tower at this point, and everything should just get sent. Try and capture that so that we can have invincible Javier units versus double turn Eagle units. Okay. Have another lightning strike online. Attack right in Ringtail's units here. I don't know if they've swapped over the Hachi to really create huge waves of units, because they actually have a lot of cities. Mega things are getting picked off. Infantry have made it over here. We're going to get this harbor captured first, it looks like, and then also this comm tower might fall. Back line of orange getting some captures. Really have gone for these cities early on. Ooh, very mean. Ringtail stands on the airport for Botany Enjoyer. Potato Tank keeps pushing forward here. Just now captures a new city, then uses Merchant Union. Use just 2 cities to build from. But when you get your power so quickly here, you might as well. Joey's going to have another wave of mega tanks built here. Oh, never mind. We got anti-airs and rockets and infantry. Got a whole mixture. Steeler's gonna fire away with all of these battleships. Sadly, there's only one black boat that was brought along. Luckily, the harbor has been finished, so next turn another one can be built to save this black boat. We have the lightning strike. All of the little battleship fires over here. I'm really surprised that all of these mega tanks haven't been taken out, but they've been just pushing forward relentlessly. Stuff up here. Oh, here we go. A nice wave of units send and support the fight. Ringtail should really have swapped over to Hachi last turn, it looks like. Okay, now they swap over to Hachi. Okay, Potato Tank doing some really good damage over on this left side, but there aren't the infantry to go for any of these captures. Joey does use the Javier Super with double comm tower, so that not invincible, but plus 70 is really good stats. Very good work against Steelers units there. Botany Enjoyer does have a lot of subs over here. Does build an anti-air to deal with this fighter. Steelers got their back though. We got the carrier plus cruiser used. It comes down to help spot things out. We have a lot of battleships firing. Oh, Joey. Oh, I see. Joey used the Javier Super and then swapped over the Hachi, which ends the Javier Super. And that's why these units can actually do damage. Ooh. Get the Lightning Strike. Thought we might see a Black Boat build here, but it looks like we're just going to deal with a ton of battleships at this point, which is okay. Kill off the base capture. Makes sense. A ton of first strikes. Bomber kills off the anti-air. This is looking very good. We have the fearsome Eagle Navy doing work, such as the power of the double turn for the Navy, even if they're much lower in firepower. Ringtail moving forward with a transport copter, so might be going after Botany Enjoyer stuff there. But most of the army's over here, so it's not quite helping with the incursion from Steeler. Potato Tank does get some kills here. Been camping on top of Botany Enjoyer's base forever now, and actually has some cities at this point, so pretty fearsome number of mega tanks that can be built. For some reason, Joey's navy is just chilling way back here. I guess maybe it's waiting for a huge mass to move forward. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. We do have a huge wave of mega tanks built here. Okay. Lots of attacks with the battleships. And now we have transport copters for Steelers, so these properties and production facilities captures will go much faster as more infantry will be available. The missile gets a nice kill over here. Lots of mega tanks. Oh, Orange is now here with a significant number of these mega tanks. A bunch more on the way. Ooh. Looks like Botany Enjoyer actually captured a base over here. We have 2 bases are available, and this mega tank that's camping on this one is not looking too happy. Ringtail forward. The mega tanks does clear the infantry that was standing off on this base, because Steeler ran out of money. Down to just 2,000 in the bank. That is very impressive. Such is the power of Double Eagle. Botany Enjoyer has a ton of money. So does Joey. So does pretty much everybody. Potato Tank's kind of running out. But not like Steeler, who's down to 2,000. Okay. Oh, Potato Tank actually got an infantry up here. Start capturing this base. Bad news. For Botany Enjoyer, we have the Tower of Power from Joey, so we get to find out this time if Joey decides to swap off of Javier onto Hachi. Give up the super stats. Did again. I would not do that, because there's a giant Eagle Navy here, and it's completely useless if you have Javier super active. Advanced Force by Web needs gold trading. Okay. Stealer now going for capture on these cities. Desperately needs the money. Already down to 60,000. Hasn't even used the lightning strike yet. Let's get a whole bunch of attacks in there. More transport copters get built. We're down to 4,000. Every turn, Steeler's running out of money. Okay, orange, tons of mega tanks on their way. Unfortunately, it's just gonna take quite a while. Ringtail's picking on poor Botany Enjoyer. So is Potato Tank, who takes Botany Enjoyer's base. The Botany Enjoyer is now actually building some mega tanks of their own to fight back, and has swapped over to Eagle. So we're gonna see some nice plays. I have no idea what's going on in the bottom left with Joey. It's just this giant navy is being constructed and just sitting there. Botany Enjoyer with the lightning strike, get some nice plays going there. Okay. Steeler does shoot a bunch of those fighters. The missiles have been really good in this game. Huge number. Mega Tank Steeler runs out of money again. Well, Orange Army went down. Orange is not building from the forward airport though, which is a little concerning. Also, for some reason, blocked the taking of the city from Steeler. Okay. Ringtail doing really well on the left side and kind of stuck in a never-ending conflict with Steeler in the center. Potato Tank pretty scary against poor Botany. Here we have the Tower of Power again. We'll see if Joey swaps off of it or not. That's been the thing that's been kind of painful. I mean, they're swapping off and getting a huge wave of units is pretty good, but losing all your units on the front line because of it did swap off of it. Okay. Alright, Steeler has a lot of things to attack. Ooh. Didn't quite kill everything that moved forward though, so Steeler might be starting to run out of steam. Did end the turn with still 11k in the bank though. So it's starting to come over those economic woes. 218,000 funds every turn will definitely help with that. Ringtail attacking in. Does use the Samurai Spirit and stays as combi, so the Samurai Spirit is still active. It's taking poor Botany Enjoyer's stuff. Potato Tank. Movement straight on forward. There's a few Mega Tanks that have been sent over to deal with Steeler. Joey with a huge wave of units as well. It's still so much stuff built in the bottom left corner that haven't done anything. Okay, we got Steeler. We got our double Eagle player, who of course has enough charge for a lightning strike and a half. Ooh. The fighting is looking much more dire at this point. Not nearly the kind of progress we've been seeing before. Still ended with 11k in the bank. Not enough to build like a mega tank, so still basically a popper at this point. Ringtail does attack forward. Steeler has a lot of stuff there, so I suspect we're about to see Ringtail get bopped. Potato Tank's doing a good job as well. On the right there. In the center, we now have Orange and Potato Tank in a Mega Tank duel. Oh, the Joey army in the bottom left is starting to move out. And in the bottom right, we have quite a few units and missiles backing it up. It looks like Steeler's double turn shenanigans are being thwarted at this point. Just not enough stuff left. Did wipe out that middle attack force from Ringtail. Very little stuff moved on Orange's turn, which is really weird. I guess just the infantry. It was Victory March, and they were like, well, Victory March means only infantry move. And Mega Tanks didn't. For some reason, that bomber is still sitting on that airport, or not the airport, the city, so no one can capture it. Ringtail moving forward. Potato Tank. Oh no, Botany and Joy are left. So Potato Tank now has no one to beat up, except for Orange. You have Joey. A huge number of units moving in here. And the army from the left. Although it doesn't have too much to fight. It only has kind of allies over on that sea. Steeler doing their best to fight on all fronts. Does have a nice lightning strike. There's so many units to fight off due to all the Hachi players. Oh. We're gonna have more Mega Tanks built. Orange Ringtail is going for some forward production. It's going to be the strongest type. And has the Combi super active. Main's active, so those units are going to be really hard to take out. Potato Tank is now shifting the attention a bit. Starting to head towards Steeler, who has most of the investment right on the front lines. And ooh, a lot of it's dying right there. So if anything ever breaks through towards that HQ, it's going to be really hard for Steeler to hold it. Joey with 91 units. I don't know what the unit cap is here, but that's a lot of units. Steeler does still have 43. Getting double buys every turn is nice. Lots of those Mega Tanks do fall down. The bomber does find that missile. Okay, Steeler does end that turn with 52. So he still has 85 though. Oh no! Orange leaves the game. It is now a 3 versus 1. This is going to be very difficult to hold on to. Potato Tank moving forward. All of these. Steeler did capture another comm tower though. All of these production facilities. Oh my gosh, but Joey resigns? Whoa. Well, Joey had the most units. So maybe there is hope for Steeler. If Steeler can get enough transportation to get those backwards production that his allies had, or their ally had, then maybe this is possible. I mean, getting double buys from every production facility is pretty darn good. Oh, Steeler's gonna just run out of so much money. Ringtail is ready to fight there. Potato Tank does go for an interrupt on the city capture, which is definitely the thing you want. Well, it's not huge. From their eyes, it's probably not a huge deal, but they don't know that Steeler is running out of money every single turn. Okay. Another base is about to be captured by Stealer. And a harbor in the back. The huge navy from Joey is gone, so Stealer can try and hold on the left sea as well. Both Ringtail and Potato Tank are not double Hachis, so they can only get their Hachi super every now and again rather than every single turn. While Stealer, of course, can do an Eagle super every turn. Such is the power of being just a double tag CO. Okay. Stealer moving forward. We do have another lightning strike, of course. Trying to deal with the sheer number of units that are incoming. We're at 55 for Stealer. The opposing team has double the unit count at present. Although not too many units. They're not attacking too many units right now. One of the comm towers from Stealer is going to go down. There's going to be a new front that opens up right up here. As the bases have now been captured. And they're going to have to start building units to defend themselves. And Stealer's going to really wish that there was even more money available. The Mega Tanks do push forward. And we attack. Pretty much cleaning up everything over here, but Ringtail is able to start capturing Joey's old stuff. That'll open up some more production that Stealer's gonna have to deal with. Stealer's still running out of money every turn. And it looks like Stealer's gonna lose. Well, no. Stealer's got double. Oh, never mind. This is a combined super infantry, so it's going to be really tough to do a damage to it when it's on base. Although there's, maybe it must not be. Oh, I see. It's a Hachi super, so that's just a regular combine infantry. Oh, Stealer making progress in the south. Does save the comm tower. Has the missiles chilling in those woods. Doing a good job. Out of money again. Ooh, it's just building infantry right now from here. Doesn't have to build too many vehicles from there yet. Ooh, Stealer's been growing in the unit count. Potato Tank has actually been falling. Ringtail's also been growing. They have a lot of units in the back though, and those are not going to be too useful. Okay, Stealer's holding their own in the Western Sea there. It has some infantry moving towards a much more viable harbor to build from. Really like to get some of these central cities, or central productions, like the airport and that base that they've been fighting around. Okay, Ringtail keeps the fight going in the north, or in the Western Sea, I guess the Northwestern Sea. Potato Tank has a bunch of Mega Tanks moving in over here. Okay, so starting to turn against Stealer at this point down here. I don't think it's that big of a deal if, because every lightning strike turn that these get close enough to all of the ships, they should be able to defend everything. Base does get prevented from being captured. What happened down here? Oh, one hell of a Mega Tank delays the airport capture. Okay. Running into very serious vision problems. Stealer does kill off a bunch of Mega Tanks. Most of the stuff that's happening. gets it attacked over here. Steeler actually managed to go all the way down to 0 funds in the bank. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, Ringtail does have 5 comm towers. Soon to be 6. Very strong combat units. Rocket gets spotted, but it's not attackable. Ringtail's starting to fall behind in unit count. Or was. With Steeler, but does have the Hachi Super. Potato Tank with a huge number of Mega Tanks is moving forward. Just sticking to their guns there. We have a missile in range. Try and lock down the airport down in the south. The Northwestern Sea, the fight is going. Ooh, but the central airport's starting to be captured by Steeler, which is a big deal. The lightning strike establishes a little blockade up there. Huge number of mega tanks that are moving into just a ton of rocket range. They can tend to take rocket hits pretty well. Steeler does get ahead in the unit count from that turn. Ringtail has a nice number of attacks this turn to lower it a tiny bit. But as things have been going, Steeler's been the one that's actually been gaining more production. And every production facility does work twice for Steeler, thanks to the lightning strikes. So looks like things are going Steeler's way. A big thing we'll have to see is how everything in the bottom right in the southeast develops. If Steeler's able to take any of this stuff, then I think the game will end up starting to come to a close, because then Steeler will have just a full arc around Team A. That's always very hard to defend against. Okay, Ringtail's going on the offense in the southeast, which is always good for people. And is trying to get this base. Ooh. Potato Tank managed to get a Mega Tank on top of Steeler's central airport, although it only has 5 health, so that should be pretty easy to clear off. It's a lot of rockets for Steeler in the center here. Luckily, Joey's no longer in the game, so no worries about Javier just messing with any indirect play. We have our lightning strike. Does clear out most of the stuff in the center, and gets to use the central airport, which is really nice. There's still some infantry over there too, so more captures will be on the way. The southeast is looking... Oh! The game crashed. We'll see if I can get back to that turn though. As a quite the... ish. The game was too intense for the replay viewer. I'll try and just skip turn to turn and see if that helps. Oh. Okay, so Steelers. No, this is a little farther back. We can go a little further, and then there we go. Ringtail attacks, Steeler attacks, and now this is looking like Steeler's trying to take this area pretty nicely. Ringtail tries to fight back, but man, a lot of Steeler stuff still survives. And the central area is looking very good for Steeler. There's nothing to stop these bombers from just wreaking havoc, and the rocket setup is still going strong. There is an APC here to make sure they don't run out of ammo. Oh my gosh, look at how far forward Steeler was able to attack. Opening up more bases that could potentially be captured. But actually fell back over here. Okay. We do have the missile just chilling in these woods, forever locking this airport. Oh no, the missile gets found, but it doesn't get attacked. But actually, the Steeler attack up here is practically unanswered so far. Although Potato Tank has to go here, and there's some missile strikes. A few missiles get built by the Hachi Super, and then gets swapped over to Grit. Okay, but Steeler now has the most units out of anyone at 100. Ends the turn at 119. Blasts through here. Actually kills a ton of those missiles. Potato Tank is looking kind of dead in this area. Not in the main area, of course. Ringtail, very aggressive. Attacking it over here. But that just moves into the battleship range. Potato Tank did very little on their turn. Steeler should be able to wipe out pretty much all of this stuff. Like so. All of the attacking units from Ringtail get taken out. Tons of production is being captured over here, and another comm tower. And it's even Ringtail's. Well, then Ringtail just resigns. And it looks like Potato Tank resigns as well, and Steeler ends up winning. In a 1v3 situation. Last bullet is for itself. GG. Such is the power of Double Eagle. It was definitely touch and go there. If Joey had stuck around, I don't think it would have been possible. Yeah, with that much money, for sure. I'm gonna call it there. Oh, let's move you guys back over here. I hope everyone enjoyed. Well executed, Steeler, indeed. I know. That was quite the game. Apple. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And of course, there's a Patreon if you want to support the stream. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's